So somebody asked me to do a video on actually how to repair a cord on one of these, and with crimp styles and splicing these wires. So I have this is a coffee grinder I found at Bed Bath & Beyond, and as you can see, they cut the cord. It's cut off. Now you could just splice a new cord on that, but that's not how I do it. So basically, I got a pair of wire strippers, wire crimpers, wire cutters, needle nose pliers, Phillips head screwdriver. Some of the screws in these things will be different. They'll be like triangles and crazy things like that. This is just Phillips screwdrivers. And I got a little knife here to cut some stuff. These are my crimps. You can get these at any hardware store. I got all this stuff at Ace Hardware. The new wire, this is an appliance cord. And I got some heat shrink, 3/4 inch. I'll show you why. But anyway, these are actual crimps that are probably in this machine, and basically I'm just going to cut this cord off and we'll attach it. But yeah, let me get this thing apart, and we'll have a look at it. So what we got here, there's 4 screws top of this. Take this out. And then on the bottom, you got rubber plugs. I'll take those rubber plugs out. And behind those rubber plugs will be the other 4 screws. Lost that one. Put all these in there. I'll move these out of the way here. So now we've got our plugs out of there. Get in here to get these screws out. Screws in a little cup over there. Right, now I already went ahead and pulled most of the screws out to kind of speed this up. I'm gonna pull this top out. This is inside. If you look down in here, this is where your power cord's coming in. Right here's your black cord. So we got to cut the zip tie off. Then they got some heat shrink tape on here, which will should pull off for the most part. Yeah, it's off. Now if you look at this, cut that off there. Cut that zip tie off. Alright, zip ties off. We'll re-zip tie that. Now we got wires. And if you look at the wires, you got a brown wire and a blue wire going to each side of your new cord. Alright, so now let's flip this back over. Over here, there's a little spring in there. Over here they have a what's holding the cord, so you can't actually physically pull the cord out of the machine. So you want to take this loose. That side. Now this cord should come out of here. Okay, so when we run our new cord up through there, wrap it around there, reattach it. Now we can pull all this up through here. Just want to make sure we root our new cord same direction. There we go. So this is where we're going to connect our new cord to these two. Now if you look at these cords, on one side of the cord it's going to have some numbers and some writing, or could just have a white line on it or whatever. You want to make sure that piece that has those numbers or that white line match back up. So the ones with the numbers are going to the brown wire, the ones without are going to the blue wire. Now to get these crimps off of here, what I want to do is just kind of pinch it the opposite direction, kind of loosen it up so I can and don't take much, so I can just pull these off. If I can get a hold of them. Sometimes they're not too fun to get a hold of. You want to go the opposite direction that they crimped it, if you can. I think I got that one. And that should pull off. That way I can get to these wires. Alright. That's off. Now all we got left on here is just this little piece of metal. What I'm going to probably end up doing here is just cutting this off and resplicing these two wires, because these metal crimps aren't wanting to come off. These are pretty slick. These will strip your wire for you. Just stick your wire in here. You can set your gauge on how long you want your wire stripped. These are like $9 to $12 depending on where you get them. See, that strips that wire clean. Make that a little longer than that. If I can get it in there, it's tiny stuff. Yeah, so that's all stripped. Alright, we cut this one off. There, our old wire's gone. Now our brown wire had the writing on it. So we want to make sure we match that back up. Just a little longer. Okay, now here's our new cord. Rather than taking all this apart, and these are appliance cords, and you can get these in any hardware store or Home Depot or wherever. But rather than doing all that, all I'm going to do is just cut this plug off. And I'm going to take my strippers, stick it in here. I'm going to make this a little bit longer. And this will strip both these wires at the same time. If I can get it in there. I don't want that. There, see it? Strip both wires at the same time. Now what I'm going to do is take my knife, just split this and pull this apart a little bit so they're not together. Just push down on my knife, pull this up, and there she goes. Now all I can do is run my cord back up through. Cord back up through there. Cord run back up through. So the one here with the writing. size Crimps we're going to be using here yet. The one with the writing goes to the brown wire. Okay, and that would be this one. So this one and this one go together. Let's twist them together for now. And the other one goes, the blue one goes to the other wire. And that came apart. Stinky. Alright, we'll get this wrapped up. Yeah. I mean, there's people out there that just splice cords back together. I think I should have made this a little longer. That'll just splice wires together, and I don't like to do that. It's not that it's the best thing to do, but if you're going to use it personally, yeah, you can probably get away with it. If it's something you want to sell, I don't think that's a good idea. I mean, 120 volts ain't going to kill you, but it will catch on fire. Alright, so here's our new crimps, just like the ones that were in there. Keep a hold of it. Take these pliers and crimp that on there. I'm gonna try to anyway. Yep, it's on there. Get another one. Put it on the other wire. I have a hard time seeing this. That one. Them things are on there just as good as they were when they were made. So yeah, that's pretty much done. Run this back down through here, and we'll zip tie all this back together, and then what we'll do, we'll zip tie all this back together just like they had it. Which I'm gonna have to go get the zip tie, I guess. Push this cord down through, and then there's a piece of heat shrink tube here. This is 3/4 inch, and this will slide right over top of all this, just like that. And then I can heat this up, and it'll shrink around those wires. Cut a little piece of this off. I'm gonna cut through my table. So yeah, this will just slide right over all this, just like that piece I took off, and I'll heat shrink that up there. But yeah, let me get my zip tie. I forgot it. All right, so let's go ahead and get a zip tie around these, like they had it. Get all this in one spot here. Put all this back together. It's a zip tie. This is a zip tie on here. All right. our zip tie on, cut that off. Now we can put our heat shrink on. Push it down on there. I may not even need to heat this up, but it's pretty tight. But I probably will anyway. Probably will anyway. You can see them, it's all in that heat shrink there, so that keeps that from coming apart. So, but we will heat it up just to shrink it a little bit. You can do that with a, I don't know if you can do it with a hair dryer. I'm gonna use a cigarette lighter here. I'm not gonna heat it too much because it's pretty tight as it is. But this is gonna keep it from basically ever coming off. There, that's tight enough. That's not gonna. Alright, so now we're gonna start reassembling this thing. So we're gonna put this back up on here. Push these wires down. Go there. Side here. We have to put our lock back on here for a wire. That keeps us from being able to pull it out of the machine. It's just kind of wrapped around here. Guess I put the screws back in the top. Yeah. It's pretty cold outside, or I'd be doing this in my garage. But a little warmer in here. Back apart. Get some wire down here. We gotta put our spring back in here. For our button. A little button that sticks up out of the bottom. this. 4 screws here we're going to put in the bottom. I'm trying to do this quick, but you know, we're going to do. Alright, we're getting there. We are getting there. Put these little feet back in. That should be the deal there. This one here. This goes up here. So yeah, that should be the deal. Let's see if she works. Plug her in. I made a mess, sorry, but as you can see, it's working. Yeah, cool. I think this thing's like 60 bucks. But yeah, a couple minutes and you get it going. But apparently somebody had used this for something because there was still some coffee in there. And it works because it just blew out all over me. Alright, cool. Thanks for watching.